Yeah, it just really hope so. Hopefully, we're live. Hopefully, we'll have some more people joining us. Nick
Sure.
Weiser was saying he was going to try to join one of these days.
Well, I hope so.
But
Nick's a good dude.
Anyway, so yeah, are you going to Vegas then?
I want to very badly. It looks like the odds are stacked against me on that. But if a miracle can happen, that's my birthday week. That'd be the greatest birthday ever. I've always wanted to. I've been to Vegas in 20 years, but just to go see all the dudes. Because when Gary, when he finally gets it, to be first time. Oh, okay, it's a lot of fun. And I mean, whether you gamble or not, it's just fun to go and look around. I don't gamble, but oh, there you go. When Gary does finally open that comic shop, since it's fairly not that far from me, I'm planning a road trip. I'm going to go and walk in that door and go meet him and hang with him. And when that happens, but I would love to go. I'm glad you're getting to go to that, though.
The thing that was silly was I booked the trip last summer when it was going to be in December, and I had a Wednesday to a Saturday at Caesar's Palace for $430 with the flight included.
Wow.
And now I'm staying at Bally's, so I was refunded because of the bug. And I mean, it was a voucher refund. So I basically only had to pay about $130 more. And I'm not staying at Caesar's. That would have been too expensive, but I'm staying at Bally's.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's going to be a good time. I'm really, really looking forward to this. I just hope we find out more details soon.
Oh, yeah. Well, I believe that the con is at the Rio, which I stayed at once a long time ago, which is nice. But it's on the other side of the interstate from the Strip.
Yep.
So there's that. But still, that's the Strech con now, I guess. I don't know where Gary's going to be, though.
Well, I think they talked that there might be something at the Fandom or Millennium Fandom Bar in downtown Vegas.
Okay. Yeah. You did mention that. That sounds great. Even though I think he's planning to attend the con at least, I don't know, for a little bit. But yeah, he's not really big on the con. He's just going to go to see it or whatever. But yeah.
Well, I was sharing with Nick Weiser. I'm looking at antique malls and comic shops. And the reason I'm looking at antique malls is I scored a Sergeant Fury number 5. Or number 4 for $5 at an antique mall.
Nice. So, I love the comic shops. Good.
Well, the thing that's neat about the antique stores is sometimes you find really good deals on old comics. And it's just fun to look at it's fun to look at the other stuff. Because I collect newspapers, I collect political buttons, and I mean you can waste time there easily.
Well, every time I go into another city, I know people like to do certain things to me. I want to go to all the I want to hit the comic shops, all of them. Vegas, again, bear in mind it's been 20 years. It's been it has some nice ones. I remember walking into one 20 years ago, and as soon as I saw the guy at the counter, his first thing he said to me is, "I know you." Turned out we bumped into. I was in the business back in a long while, and he'd been in the business too, and we bumped into each other and done some dealings together. I think in Texas or something. It was weird, but. I love because we don't have really great comic shops where I am, so it's great to go to the comic shops in the big cities like that. I love it.
Well, I'm going to be going to Omaha on Monday. I go on my priest retreat next week, so the store up in Omaha is having 20% off. So I might go try to buy some cheap old comics.
That's always the best. I was going to
share. So I just picked this one up yesterday. I don't know if you've heard of it.
If it's modern and relatively new, then the chances are I have not. I don't follow any of the new stuff now, so or even relatively new.
Well,
that's a new book.
2 Moons. It's basically a Civil War horror. Guy, Indian that's able to see evil. But then this is from Boom.
This one I know I mentioned
this one.
Yeah, I think I heard it from you, actually.
Yeah, the guy that runs the comic book store in town was telling me about this new comic that came out, and I figured, okay, I'll pick up it. I subscribed to it, and like I said a few weeks ago, I just found out the first issue is worth $300.
Whoa.
That's
Wow.
ungraded. So it's like,
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that. So that was a good return.
Oh yeah, not bad at all. And it's a book you've been reading it or?
Yeah, this is number 16 came out. So when Berserker number 2 came out, if you had bought number 1 and number 2, then the store gave you a variant of the first printing of Something's Killing the Children, and it's like the 8th printing of the first episode or the first issue.
Oh, I got you.
So I mean, the fact that the number 1 of this has been printed 8 times already. So
yes,
and it's one of those you can't buy. You have to buy the first and second to be able to get the variants. So I think I'm going to get that slabbed as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. That's amazing. It's nice to see there's at least something going on new in comics that someone's interested in because
well, I mean,
it's not mainstream, of course.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so I don't know if you saw the tweet I posted yesterday. DC is issuing a 6-issue short run this fall, Superman 78.
I'm looking forward to that.
Bring up that
Have you heard of it? Yes, I just saw a variant cover on that just the other day, which I could try to find. Surprisingly enough, that is an actual DC comic that's happened in the past decade that I'm actually interested in. That one and Batman 89.
I gotta say, the one that I really have enjoyed is Batman White Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you read that or not.
No, but I've heard of it. It's
really good.
Sean Gordon Murphy.
We got PJ.
Hello.
Hey, PJ. Hey. What's up, PJ? Maybe. How you doing?
Good
I
shirt.
like that. I like that pullover there, whatever, that hoodie right there. Nice, love it. But yeah, Batman 89 and Superman 78, both that announcement a couple of months back, Father, really shocked me that they would be doing something like that because they don't usually care about what fans are interested in. A few years back, I enjoyed the Batman 66 comic series they were doing at DC. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It was okay.
I bought the one when they did Pete and Steel because I love the Avengers, but the comic wasn't as good. For me, it wasn't.
I like some of the ones they did they did the Green Hornet one was okay. They actually did one that was based on an old script. There was going to be an episode of the original series, which of course I love the old show. That was going to have Two-Face that Holland Ellison actually wrote. They adapted it. They had the great Garcia Lopez do the art. That was pretty good. The regular series was hit or miss, but they had a couple where they teamed up with some superheroes. But it was still kind of just the fact that they were doing a comic just based on pure fun like that was kind of a nice idea. And basing something on those two films, would they be good or not? Who knows? But it's kind of nice to see that they're doing that. We'll see.
So, and they got Brainiac too coming back.
Yeah, they're going to have it. It'll be a version of based on the 78 film. Yet they're going to have a Brainiac that at least looks sort of like the comic book version. It'll be nice to see a continuation in that universe that isn't Superman 2, 3, or 4.
Right. So, things in Scotland.
Comic book look, it's always good.
Yeah, love those Doctor Who figures back there, man.
I am just watching Father's Day right now. I restarted watching season 1 of the new Who last night.
It's a great episode.
I forgot how much fun it was.
Imagine that. When Doctor Who was fun. Yep, loved it. Really loved that episode. And they had a lot of great stories in that season. In my opinion, especially of course, Empty Child Doctor Dances, was a highlight for me.
Well, I was heartbroken when he left after the first season.
Yeah. Although Tennant certainly took care of that for me.
Oh, yeah.
For a while anyway.
Yeah. But
I feel terrible. I stopped watching it.
Is that when you started with Tennant?
No, I'd actually started when it came back in 2005 with Eccleston. But I never rewatched any of them, so I ended up just fading away. It just disappeared. I realised I didn't get me any of them. There was one or two that I could remember, but I never rewatched anything from the new stuff, so ended up just sticking to classic.
I can't blame you. I love it the most, but I do like some of those early one seasons with I do like those new Doctors, and I like some of it. Now, again, they have some elements I don't like. I don't know about you guys, but for example, the whole Last Son of Krypton stuff with them, I thought it was a terrible mistake on Davy's part. The whole him being the last of the Time Lords, I hated that. I liked it when he was a rogue Time Lord running from the Time Lords. I liked that better. That added too much millennial-ish type of drama. The puppy dog love with the companions being in love with him, that kind of stuff, and the Doctor reexperiencing puberty, that kind of stuff. Not my, again, I'm not saying it's bad. I still like it, but that would have been, those are decisions I probably wouldn't have made personally.
I think that's some parts that turn me off it. The fact is the puppy dog and the love, it's just, no.
Because see, you can almost understand. Go ahead. Son.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just going to say, Rose, she's not the best companion, but I think she's the companion that it needed in the beginning.
Well, when they get a younger guy like that, is a good, I guess, considered like a good-looking guy that the ladies like, you can kind of understand a young girl like that falling in love with this all-powerful being who could go anywhere in space and time. You can see it from that standpoint. I get it, but I kind of liked it when it was more of a guy that was more of an uncle type of a friend type thing. I mean, of course, the show was aimed at families more, the original, and it'll always be so much better in that era for me personally. Just me though. I still like some of it.
But also the fact that they seem to actually continue that way, any new companion, right up until Donna. Then they sort of realised it and then went, no, not that. They basically went in the opposite way with it to try and distance.
Yeah. That's why Donna was kind of fun, actually. The way there was none of that there. I kind of enjoyed Donna. That a little bit.
I didn't like Catherine Tate at all.
Oh, really? I loved it because she treated it. She was more like, because my favorite companion side of maybe this side of Sarah Jane was Ace. I love Ace. I love that kind of relationship between the Doctor and him, that she didn't, she wasn't all googly eyed over him. She was, I like that.
I wonder if I have that. I gotta find an image I posted.
Picture of
Dave Bob. What's up, Dave? Yeah, I love Dorothy. I love Dorothy McChain, I believe was her full name. Ace. And I was lucky enough to meet her a couple times. She's a sweet lady. That character is really great.
Yeah, I've met Sophie as well, and I've got an autograph. I got an art piece of art from someone at the same Comic-Con. It was Ace with a bazooka and a Dalek in the background, and I got Sophie to autograph it.
Nice. I love it. I loved it in Silver Nemesis when she's running around shooting Cybermen with coins with her little slingshot. And she was of course, we all know there were no strong female characters back then, right?
Yeah,
Ace was wonderful. For me, I really loved her. A lot of people don't like that era. There you go.
Have you seen this before?
Yes,
I think so. I love it.
Yeah, I've seen that one before.
K9.
Professor. Yeah, I love. She called him Professor to aggravate him. That was always kind of fun on the part of Ace. Professor.
Yeah.
Yep, and then she did was kind of. I love. It's really, again, you can say what you want about that. I actually thought his second season and third season had a lot of great stuff. So there are people who will not like it, will not watch it, don't like it. But I love McCoy. And I love some of those. I thought there were some really great episodes. And Ace had a great story arc, I thought.
Yeah, I like some of the McCoy's episodes. Actually, one of my favourite of the later stuff was Battlefield.
I love it. People don't like that quote-unquote obnoxious soundtrack. It's fine with me. But, that was... I just love the Brigadier. Nicholas Hartney's fan. Any Modern Undead and Battlefield, two stands out. Because you got to love the
The complaint I had about New Who is they kind of raised the Brigadier to kind of like a god status. I mean, just the overdoing the veneration of him, if that makes sense or anything.
You mean with one on the Capaldi one when they were kind of mentioning him, his daughter? You mean because he did appear on the Sarah Jane episode?
Yeah,
yes, he did.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Daniel, the Scottish Davros, got me to watch the Sarah Jane Adventures because I'd only seen 1 or 2, and when they had the Slovene in it, I didn't really like it. But he persevered and browbeat me into watching it, and I must admit I did enjoy it. After,
It was fun.
and
I love that
I guess.
Nicholas Courtney
What
was
I was
actually in an episode, which was good.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't like how they made him a Cyberman at the end.
Oh no,
No, that was that whole. Oh boy, that's I'm not much of a fan of even that era at all. I mean, to me, I've
And
decided
the
in my
Doctor
own
as
personal.
president.
Yeah, I've decided in my own personal headcanon, everyone makes their own decisions. The 50th ends it for me. The entity known as the Doctor passed away at the end of time of the Doctor, right after the 50 plus one there. And at that, some other being took over that was, I love Capaldi as an actor. I just don't like the way the character was written or the way it was handled. So for me, it's a cutoff of 50 years. That's just
so.
personal.
Although I still really include Paul McGann. In effect, I think it finished with Survival with me.
Yep, and I hated the Paul McGann pilot. Incidentally, I really, really hated it. However, I like him though. I like him. Yes,
it's
Fox
not
movie.
good, but he is a good actor. I've seen.
He's great.
Things. It's the fact is the way they did it. It just looked. But it's. I suppose it's like anything else. It looked like an American version of.
It was.
It was just.
Well, at least the joint, yeah.
Although it was joint, it just looked very. It's almost like they were trying to reboot it. Like it'd be like Faulty Towers when they did Pain in America.
Oh yeah,
Just didn't work.
Things like that work.
That pilot. They, the great Terrence Dix and Barry Letts were both invited to a screening of it, and the BBC execs, because it looked at them and they walked out looking like with this look on their face, and you guys, and I'm with them. I hated so much about it. Now, again, it's not knocking Paul McGann. It's not his fault. I think he would have been he's good in some of the few big finishes I've listened to. I loved him in that Night of the Doctor short. He's fine. I just thought some of that stuff, the half-human garbage and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember saying before this came out, making jokes before they ever did, when I would say, and again, I love my country. I'm an proud American. I'd say, Doctor Who's British. We Americans don't need to get our hands on Doctor Who.
It's the same the opposite way. You look at that 70s show. They tried to do a remake of that in Britain, and it was garbage. It was they effectively took the script and just put in some British bits in it, and it did not work. Because
it's like how they tried.
That's an American institution because it was all American programs, and things they were talking about. Over
Makes
here,
sense.
yes, we got bits and pieces. It just did not work.
Well, that was the problem with the American version. They tried to reboot the IT crowd over here, and Moss was in the American pilot, but it was garbage.
Had the guy from Community. I can't remember his name.
The IT crowd.
Yeah.
He played Roy, and it was almost shot for shot. But it did not work because it's the characterization. It just didn't work.
Well, that's kind of how the American pilot of Life on Mars was. It almost was shot by shot, and it was horrible.
There are only like maybe 3 or 4 times that we Yanks have stolen some British stuff that were successful, that worked, and because they reworked them. It was, of course, All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Three's Company. But most of the other things we've tried to do, we tried coupling over here.
I would say
dire. Coupling was absolutely dire. I've got I've got coupling. I've got it sitting.
Great show
because it's one of my favourites. The first 3 seasons of Couplings are one of my favourite, but the American version
lasted 2 weeks.
Well, I was going to say the first 4 seasons of the American version of The Office were pretty good.
That's another one that I've heard of. The Office is not one of my favourites, but I heard it was successful because they took the premise and then rewrote it for an American audience without taking taking the humour with it. Because you know what it's like. American humour and British humour are just different. They're similar enough, but they're different. There's just the nuances in it are different. And if they take something and try and customise it for an American audience, if it was written in Britain, it doesn't work because the humour's different. And if they take the premise of something and rework it for the audience it's aimed for, it works. And they've done that with other stuff. Like, for instance, it's Stanford and Sons, which was Steptoe and Sons over here. They just take the same premise of the rag and bone man and the type of British humour. They reworked it, but they took the same premise, and that worked. The Office as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's a case of they need to take the premise, not the show.
I'm just
There's
looking to see
Red
if there's a
Dwarf.
title card.
You look at Red Dwarf.
They tried
love
Red
Red
Dwarf.
Dwarf.
They tried Red
Two
Dwarf
pilots in the States. And
twice
both
over
of
here.
them
They're
were bad.
horrible.
They did?
Oh, man.
Yes, two pilots.
They're bad.
The first one they had a dancer to play the cat, and it's a dancer that Danny John Jules looked up to, and he was quite pleased that he got the part because there's someone he looked up to playing his role and try to. But what they did was the first season, everything the cat did, they put it into the 2 minutes that the cat was on screen.
It was terrible,
and it was terrible. And
Terry
then
Farrell played the cat. In the
Terry
second one.
Farrell played it, but that was the second one. They did two versions of it, and it just did not work at all. And they had Robert Llewellyn in it, and
that's right.
It didn't work.
Didn't happen. So yeah, it doesn't. No, not a good idea. I mean, leave it over there. The Doctor Who should have stayed that way. And I hated that pilot. It's the first 2 seconds of that pilot opens up with the words, "I kid you not." And if those are not familiar, it talks about how the Time Lords, this, that, or the other, says it mentions the most evil being the Master, put on trial by the Daleks. And I said, wait, right there. The Daleks have a legal system.
That's what.
What the Daleks?
The Doctor works for them.
Wait, wow.
Yes,
the Daleks.
And the Doctor is.
Are you innocent? Exterminate. Are you guilty? Exterminate. Are you different? Exterminate. No legal system.
They don't have lawyers, and then they have the Doctor working for them to bring his remains back to Gallifrey with that stupid TARDIS control room that was like a Gothic cathedral. I'm like, I hate that. Right there, I'm in a bad mood when I'm watching that thing. I'm like, what in the? I'm not happy.
I guess I must have forgot about the Dalek part.
Yeah,
they put the Master on trial.
Like the modern.
That is.
I didn't like the New Who TARDIS interior. I must admit, looked too organic.
Oh, I hated it. I hated the whole Gothic look in there. Like, it was too complicated, too busy. I like a smaller control room. But then, and by the way, Terrence Dicks, who did not like it either, wrote a great book at the time when those books were BBC books called The 8 Doctors, which fixed it. He didn't like all the screw-ups in there, so he fixed it. It's a great book. I really liked it.
Well, the question I have is, what if he had a better appearance? McGann. If he appeared like the War Doctor or the way he did it the Night of the Doctor, I wonder if they would have caught on more.
Oh yeah,
I think it would have.
It didn't need to be on American television because it did well, and this was on Fox. Okay, it was a show that traditionally had been running on PBS. There was a lot of things going against it, but as far as Who fans, I got a lot of blowback from people angry at me for being critical of it back then. But it's I think if it had been allowed to go on, because I've heard some of his what do you call it, the Big Finish. He's great actor. It's nothing against him, but he's not half human, you dummies. He's not like there's this. They had the Eye of Harmony Eye of Harmony inside the TARDIS, and Eric Roberts is the Master. Are you kidding?
Oh, that. Oh, just so believable.
Like, it's like, I'm the Master.
Well,
what the hell?
You gotta admit, he's better than the current Master.
Well, yeah. Well, to be honest, I love John Sim. I didn't like him as the Master either because he was more like the Jokester. He's like the Joker.
That's what it looks like.
The Master.
The Master was always a master of manipulation, not a manic nutcase.
Yeah, I mean, even Anthony Ainley, who had like a bit of a nudge, wink to him, and I love Delgado's my favorite. Ainley is great too, but he's not a quipster. He's not like the Joker. And Sim was written again. That was not too long after the Heath Ledger performance as the Joker. It's almost like you guys, hey, we'll just act like the Joker. We don't know who the Master is, and I hate that. It's almost as stupid as the idea of him turning the whole planet and everyone into the Master, which was an unbelievably bad, dopey idea in my opinion.
Yeah,
this is an interesting comment from Ryan Lynn. I wish the Paul's doctor was in the 50th instead of the War Doctor. My only thing would be that would mess up the plot of the 50th then.
I think
Not really, because we could have actually had Paul's being the War Doctor, because the Time War could have happened, and it would have tied the Eccleston to the McGann run.
I think if Eccleston hadn't been such a putz about it and had done it, then that's the way I would like to have seen it. So since he wouldn't do that, I think the War Doctor's the next best thing. Although it's tough to argue because McGann never got a fair shot. So if they'd done that, it could have been good also.
Yeah. I think McGann would have actually worked quite well in it as the War Doctor, because he could have been known as the War Doctor, so still keeping the Doctor title, and he's just added the war in front of his title because of the circumstances.
It could have worked.
Yeah.
John Hurt's terrific, though.
Oh, yes. So if he's not the War Doctor, he's got things coming out his chest. Either way, he's just fantastic.
It doesn't even seem possible. It's been almost 10 years since the 50th.
I know.
I mean,
I felt a lot younger then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just remember when it was always on Saturday nights over here. And it's like you get done with the mass, and then I would have Saturday night mass, get dinner with the pastor, and then leave me alone. I want to watch Doctor Who. But those days are gone. I mean, again, it's just watching the classic Who right now, rewatching the new Who early seasons. That fun is gone after watching Jodie.
See, even I did that when it all started back. Me and my friend used to text each other while we were watching it and stuff like that. I would have custard biscuits and basically because I enjoyed it. It basically came back just at the right time, but it just got to the point I just started realizing not as much fun. Although I was still enjoying it, I was still texting my friend. We would discuss it as we were watching it, but eventually it just got to the point I don't really want to discuss it. It's just not fun. I think that's
that was the thing. I was so upset with how going back to Capaldi, because when they announced him, I looked into what he was in before, and I binged the thick of it, and I fell in love with him with that in a man way.
See, the thing is, I grew up with Capaldi, being Scottish. I used to drink in the same pub as Peter Capaldi. Met him once, just basically said hi when I was get up at the bar. But I'd recognised him because he'd been in things like Rabsy Nesbitt and other bits and pieces. So when he came back, I thought, oh, that'll be good. So I started watching it again for not too long because it started going downhill, and just the stupidness of it. You would sit there thinking, really? Let's try them saying that the other way and see how people would react to it. It was just constantly put downs, and I thought, nah, it's not the Doctor anymore. It's the Clara story.
Yeah. Oh darn! It's not focusing, but it's read by Capaldi.
Oh, there you go. He's a great actor. It's a shame he had the show kind of it was ruined for him because again the doc they took. Look, you were talking about the thick of it. Hilarious stuff, but the Doctor doesn't need to act like that. The Doctor, and obviously he wasn't dropping, he wasn't talking with the language, but he was nasty. He was not. One thing runs through all the docs, even when Colin Baker was going crazy. There's still a certain sort of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge at the audience where it's going to be okay. Someone that cares about people. You might give him a little gruff, something might get grouchy, grumpy and stuff, but he treats people well. He treated people like garbage immediately, and then he acted like a little puppy love over of Clara, hanging around Coal Hill School. It really soiled me on that particular iteration of the character, not the actor. He just did not act like the Doctor to me, and it never felt right. And there were not very many good stories at all for me. But again, not saying it's bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Initial incarnation, it basically wasn't a likable character. but he was
No.
still a caring character.
He
Still
wasn't nasty. He was just
Yeah.
an old grumpy.
He was just grumpy. But he wasn't a likable character initially. But he still cared. You could still see it. He might have been a grumpy old sod, but he still cared about what was happening. But you look at Capaldi's, it's basically somebody had to tell him he was good. Sorry?
Yeah, tell me I'm a good man. What is wrong with you? That's not, you know why? Because it's not that's the Valyard. The entity of the doctor that we knew and loved died at the end of Time with the Doctor, in my opinion, after being on Trenzalore for all that time. And this is not the same. He thinks it's the same being. If you've ever read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, you kind of know what I'm talking about, where it's not really the original. And I'm sorry, spoilery. Not anyone's reading it. It's similar to that. He's a being that is not real, that may think he's the Doctor, but that entity died. By the way, because it's cheating anyway. You got all of his regenerations. There are no stakes anymore. If they can just add regenerations like that, why does anyone ever have to fight over it? Well,
that meant everything that Matt Smith's final episode was about meant nothing.
Meant nothing. And I love Matt Smith, by the way.
Because he would have got them anyway, so he could have just actually walked away.
Yep. And I'm not saying it was as bad during that era as it was for the Jodie. That's special kind of horrible. It just, to me, it wasn't good. But that's, again, it's just me. I mean, a lot of people like it, which is fine. At least it's better than that.
Yeah.
What's happened in the past couple of years is just it's a shame.
I'm glad I didn't watch the end of Capaldi or anything after that, I must admit.
But you should be glad. I can attest to that. Be very happy.
Yeah, I'll just stick to that lot.
I tried watching.
Kills above actually all my Doctor Who DVDs. You can't see them, but that's what I'm pointing to.
Well, I tried watching the woman that fell to Earth. And I don't know how many times I stopped just to catch my breath. It's just painful.
What you do is see the bit just before she hits the glass ceiling. Just put it on repeat and just watch her keep falling. It's the easiest way to do it.
Now I'm thinking of that ad or that promo where she goes, "Oops," after the glass shatters.
Well, you're both 10 times smarter than me. I watched all of the Jodie era trying to review it, and it was loathsome, horrific. And at least guys like Gary and Az and Noel and stuff, they're kind of their channels. They have to watch it to review it. I was doing it because they were in solidarity with them, and I wanted to review it and to be able to talk about it. And it's disgusting. I can't go back. I think I actually watched that last special they did last year. It is some of the most horrific, disturbing, disgusting, terrible TV you've watched. This side, it's as bad as STD, and that's bad.
Well,
they destroyed Captain Jack.
Thanks to Az and Gary, I've not watched The New Doctor, Batwoman, or Discovery.
Thank you, Gary and Az. Thank you.
Yes. And the thing is, I must admit, I was thinking about watching it and doing a review of it, and then I thought, why? I would rather watch a good old fashioned William Hartnell one. Yeah, I mean, I would rather watch one of the worst ones, even ones that's not actually been remade, and I've got the telesnapped video of it. I would rather watch that.
Sure.
So,
I'm with you.
I've got too much to watch anyway to actually start reviewing stuff.
There's still plenty to watch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with Cinema Sins?
I've heard of it. What they got
I just noticed they dropped everything wrong with Rick and Morty season 1.
Ooh.
Season 1. But it's an hour video.
I've never actually watched about like the first episode, so I don't know the show. Is that a show you're familiar with?
I've only seen bits and pieces of Rick and Morty, I must admit. My daughter used to watch it, so I would catch me bits and pieces, but I never actually watched a full one.
Were you a fan?
I am. I got hooked on it. And I can't mention the episodes here, but I was showing them to a priest friend who had never heard of it. I can't keep track how many times he almost spit out his drink. For some of the stuff that was going on in it.
Yeah, I better actually watch what I say, because if I say I'll get it and watch it, Daniel will kill me, because he's been trying to get me to watch Line of Duty, and it's because it's too new. I can't put it in my classic list. So if I say I'll watch Rick and Morty, he'll kill me.
Let me see if I can do it. I might get copyright, but that's okay. I'm not monetized.
I got one
Copyright
yesterday for my. No, it wasn't a strike. It was a claim yesterday because someone insisted on being on the show with me. They insisted showing a trailer.
Well, I'll show a few seconds of this.
It was a claim. They said it doesn't affect your channel. They said, but
yeah, I figured that's what's going to happen with this, but that's okay.
Yeah. No,
It's gonna
all
take
we'll
a
do
few
is
seconds.
actually ask you to edit that wee bit out.
too late. They'll still do you the claim thing even if you edit it out later. But
Yeah.
but yeah, they give you
they
they say you can edit it out. I just put the video.
Yeah,
on.
they do, and it's happened where I know in one stream I might have played some music, and you just clip out the music part. Okay, here we go.
Doesn't wish they could talk to animals, Rick. Most humans. There, I'm done. Just stay out of trouble.
Gotta keep moving. Can't stop. Up, down, up, down, up, stop, down. Queen needs food. Babies need food. The queen makes babies. The situation in Argentina is less convenient than predicted.
Yeah, we'll have to re-destabilize their economy, refocus labor class outrage from upper to middle, foster a coup, and install a compliant regime.
Same as Guatemala.
Yes, but you can double cut.
We need a quorum to pick a new pope in case the John Monsanto thing falls.
Why not use chemtrail? John Uganda. There's no agitate anymore. What?
Kid is watching us.
So we're squirrels. He's a kid.
He's watching us like he hears what we're saying. Hey, kid, young man, come here, little boy. Tell Daphne to run 199 on a pop.
Possible Doolittle.
Boy, we'll give you wishes if you can hear us. We can make you fly and get candy. Morty, what did you do? All right, check your shit. That's only gonna keep him down for a little bit, Morty. You f with squirrels, Morty. We got a good 5 minutes before they're backing up on our ass, Morty. We have to pack up and move to a new reality, Morty. You know, I said we can only do that a couple of times. We're f***ed over here because of these damn squirrels, Morty.
That's just one of the reasons I love Rick and Morty.
I'll definitely give it a go.
Yeah, I've seen one. I think one of them, but it's popular. Yeah, that's a bit of a, and you're saying this person doesn't like the cinema is ripping it apart or something.
Oh, no. Cinema Sins is not like where they're hating on it. It's just
They're just highlighting the things that are
criticizing.
obviously wrong.
I got you. I've heard of
Let me
them.
see if I can find one of their other videos. They do a thing called "What's the Damage?"
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I think I've seen them.
Okay, here we go. Let's see how long is this one. I don't think this one would get copyrighted or anything. I mean, it's okay. Here we go. Let's see. Okay.
Die Hard.
Let me see if I can find the.
Of course I'm still coming by later.
Anyway, they kind of do that with a few different movies, but Cinema Sins is pointing out like things that probably shouldn't have happened the way they did.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few there. Everything wrong with, and some of them are actually quite good because it's like, for instance, they'll do a Superman one and someone gets blasted in his uniform and it says that shouldn't have happened because, and and they just basically give you facts about why it shouldn't have happened. And it's actually, they do it in a funny way. It's a lot of their stuff is really good. Some of their stuff is just
Max.
Hey,
Welcome.
hello.
Hey there.
But no, the thing that was fun about Everything Wrong, and I forgot that's one of the titles. They had Neil deGrasse Tyson on the video about Gravity, the movie, and that was
And he explains
fun.
it as it goes along, and a few of them are actually quite funny. There's one or two that are just they're doing it. They just seem to be a case of they don't like the program, so they're doing it that way. But most of them, it's just a case of a fun look at what they can point out wrong with movies.
Indeed.
So
well, they're persnickety, but they're fun about it.
Yes.
So how are things?
Good. I got my What About Doctor Who set last week. I haven't gotten a chance to dig into it yet.
Is that the 9-volume book thing?
Yep.
Okay. Did I send you the link on that?
No, you told me where to find it though, and I found it.
Okay. It's very detailed.
Yeah.
It's very I mean, Infernal, they had 20 pages on Infernal alone.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to digging into it.
Sounds good.
Good. So, well, we still have no title card, but hopefully they won't go too late tonight.
But I do.
I won't get
6 hours last week.
Well, the start time. I mean, the waiting. They went 6 hours last week.
Maybe not. Maybe it was 5 or something. It was a lot, though. I was thinking. Maybe,
I can't.
It seemed like they went a long time recently, like a sixer or something.
Wow. I know that I can only watch till 7 my time because one of my former students that I taught in high school is going to be ordained a deacon tonight, and they're live streaming the ceremony, so I'm going to watch it online.
Oh, gotcha. There you go. Good.
So
they go a long time. I could have maybe been thinking a little bit less than 6, but I could have swore there was too long ago. There was one where they went the 6, something about 6 or so.
Well, last week they went for 4 hours 47 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, so I just put the link in again for anybody that wants to join us. As you know, just have headphones and no swearing.
One day there's going to be a 24-hour Nerdrotic episode.
That's what Vegas is going to be.
Forget to turn his camera off.
I was talking to Clobbering before we went live. I am really looking forward to seeing what we do in Vegas because I'm assuming Gary's going to stream during it.
Oh yeah,
and I'm hoping they'll have the Friday night live stream. I mean, having
so what days? What day is Gary going to be there?
Wednesday to Sunday, I think, August 11th to the 15th.
Oh, okay.
I'm coming in on the 10th, and I'm leaving the 14th.
Okay, I'm still trying to figure when I'm gonna. I'm still trying to figure. I'm gonna figure it out like in a week. So.
Well, I unfortunately no, I'm not traveling that far.
It's like I've gotten this newfound freedom. It's scary. I don't know how to operate in this world.
I would be agoraphobic, but I'd never leave my man cave, so I'm okay.
So, no, I'm just trying to think. I'm having a mind fart. I can't think. So, but like I said, I just put the link in the chat if anybody wants to stream or join us. So I'm not going to be able to join the stream on Sunday because I'm leaving for my retreat. So I'm hoping to be back in time for this next week.
What stream would that be?
The what?
Which stream Sunday?
Oh, Gary's member stream.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got the member stream. Yeah, I've been missing that sometimes too.
The priest's retreat.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be the first time I've seen a lot of my brothers in maybe a year and a half.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
So,
Nice.
but then I was supposed to go home to see my parents for the first time the week after that, but it turns out that the 3 other priests in our area are on the retreat, so I gotta stay behind in case somebody gets sick and I need to do last rites. So
Yeah. You got to
get to
think about
postpone
that.
my vacation a week.
Damn.
Although I don't know if vacation to Iowa counts as vacation.
Well,
Are you gonna go to Riverside?
You got to get away to somewhere.
I am going to go to Riverside. My
Nice.
home, my parents live about 20 minutes north of Riverside.
Oh,
So I mean,
wow.
I've been there a number of times.
Excellent.
The cliff where
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's
cliff
no
where
cliffs
Jim
like
Kirk
that. There
drove.
is no cliffs.
I know it's.
There are no
Yeah.
cliffs like that in Iowa.
Well, that fits because that's not
Maybe
Star
a
Trek
rock
anyway.
pit.
I know. I'm from Chicago. You don't have to tell me there are no mountains in the Midwest.
That's perfect for that garbage movie because it's not Star Trek anyway. So.
Yep.
Dubuque is probably about the only area where you'll get some hills.
The only mountain that figures because the only mountains in the Midwest are probably landfills.
Leave it to Jar Jar Abrams.
So because I'm going to be around not this week but next week, I'm thinking I might do a live stream for that trailer I showed last week, the amusement park, because that goes live.
Yes.
That goes live on June 5th or 6th, I think it is. That looks really good. You see, I'm just trying to see if I got the picture on here. Yeah. I'll live stream from Riverside. That'll be a little different.
Don't they have like a huge? Don't they have like a enterprise?
Yeah, they do.
Enterprise there, yeah.
They do. We have Derek with us. How are you?
At one point around, I think it was a little after the release of Star Trek 4, some developer, anyway, some real estate developer, casino executive was actually considering putting in a Star Trek casino in the form of a full scale, I kid you not, Enterprise A.
Well, there is a casino in Riverside. But it's not a Star Trek one.
Well, it was. I saw some of the concept drawings, and it would have been cool for Trekkies. But it's like there was a wisdom back then that doesn't exactly prevail today. Thinking, what if this thing bombs? There's just this building sitting there on the strip, and like.
Let me see. I'm trying to find the Shatner thing from Iowa. Oh, okay, here we go. Let me.
When the car drives off the cliff with a kid in it.
Okay, hold on. Let me do the share thing. So I remember watching this show when it came on. I think it's like 10 years ago, where Shatner came to Iowa.
Farmer, the housewife, the mayor, the town, the punk, the priest, and everyone around. They were all pawns in my wicked plot to fix shooting a movie when we're really not. Small town in the middle of the sticks. I tricked them. It's a phony sci-fi flick.
Shatner, his guru, the styling.
Barack, the camera crew, the nephew, and his actors. On Midwestern ice. Let me tell you how it ends. No, it's a big surprise. Invasion Iowa. A movie crew that really wasn't true. Invasion Iowa. A big old hoax on these good folks.
Oh, no.
A Spike TV miniseries event, Invasion Iowa, begins Tuesday at 9. Only on Spike TV.
And I remember because one of the episodes, Shatner was trying to convince the priests there to allow them to blow up the church windows.
Oh,
And the priest is like dumbfounded.
but no, it'll be great. Have you ever seen T.J. Hooker?
You know, I actually rewatched it recently.
Oh,
I think it's on Tubi for free.
wow.
Or the Roku. It's on one of those channels. But what was fun was you got to see the Shatner Nimoy episode,
Yeah.
which that was pretty good.
Yep.
So anyway, cat's in the way.
You can just eat his tail.
God, I remember when I was younger, and I think it was right after The Undiscovered Country came out that Shatner and Nimoy went on a national tour. I saw that in Chicago.
Mm.
That was kind of cool.
Putty Tat. Yep.
Hmm.
Though I don't think Putty Tat has an L in it. So. Well, who's the guest tonight? Does anybody know?
Is it Chrissy Mayer or something?
They said we thought it was going to be both of them last week, but it was only
Yes.
Kerry on. And
It was Chrissy tonight. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
So.
think so. Anyway. So a lady 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Very
Well, she
good.
was on
She's
not too long ago.
She's very nice.
Let's see. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye out. There's no title yet.
Still not diverse enough, some would say.
Okay. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry.
Nope.
Well, they did a live stream last night. I tried watching part of it. It was with Drunk 3PL, Ryan Kennel, and Jeremy.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit of that. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm really hoping. I'm hoping that Kennel, maybe Jeremy will be at Vegas. It'd kind of be fun to have everybody there if that happens.
What you do is
will
when you
be,
do a live stream,
yeah.
you do a live stream in the back, recording their live stream.
That could be interesting. Snorted poopas. So, was there any movies coming out?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I mean, not this week, but everyone, there was a trailer for the Eternals.
That thing.
The what?
Yeah, Eternals.
Oh,
The Infernals.
Yeah, Infernals. Yeah, the not Kirby's at all. Yeah, it looks terrible.
Did you see the complete contradiction in their own trailer? We guided human, but we never interfered. Sorry, guiding them is interfering.
Yes. Yep.
So does that
Pretty
mean
much.
none of them were taken out by Thanos?
We don't know. I guess they'll say that in the film, but
I mean,
they
if they're an
certainly-
eternal, if they're a god,
wouldn't that make them Gallifreyans, not Eternals?
there's no telling what's going to happen. But apparently, they didn't do anything before that to fight Thanos or anything else. But they sat around and danced and stuff. So there's that at least, and it's just a disgrace to the great name of Kirby that they would adapt this and just to have something by him to adapt. It's just horrible.
And the thing is,
well,
they could just put it in an alternate timeline, so it has nothing to do with any of the other stuff. But they don't want to. They want to bring it all so they can tie it all together. So they have to have them doing what when there was the invasion with the Avengers, when Thanos, they did nothing. So, but they want to bring them into the same timeline so they can actually have them as part of any future movies. It'd be better having them in a timeline that hasn't had any of that in the background. Then they wouldn't need to explain anything.
Nope, this is all about creating their, adding to their already, muddled shared universe. So there's that.
Well, I remember who. I seem to be freezing. Sorry. No, I was going to say I can't remember who said it, but they made the comment. It's like for myself, I know nothing about the Eternals. I read the first reprint they did recently, and I wasn't impressed. But when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I knew nothing about them, but I enjoyed the movie. But this thing looks like it's going to be garbage.
Well, the thing about Guardians of the Galaxy, that if you'll remember, again, and as someone who knew of them, when I first heard they were doing that a couple of years before the film came out, my knee-jerk reaction was like, Guardians? What are you doing? And now I knew at the time there had been a newer iteration, not the original team, because when I think Guardians of the Galaxy, it automatically default to that original team from the Silver and Bronze Age, but there was one going on at the time that was close to the iteration you saw in the film that was fairly popular. They hadn't been around a long time, right? But the thing is, everyone was skeptical, like, why are you doing that? But almost a clear year before the film came out, they started putting out the trailers, and everyone was going, that's looked kind of amusing. It looks kind of funny. Now, you have a talking raccoon and a talking tree. You better be really good if you're going to do that. You're taking a shot. It was taking a gamble. It worked. And, not everyone, like I have friends who are more purists for those characters that don't like their take on Star-Lord, for example, which I have some issues with as well. But Chris Pratt's very funny. He's very popular. So even though some don't like it, it's generally a very well-received, very well-accepted film. And they were not hiding from it like they have been Eternals. They were pushing it for a year before it came out. Eternals, they've been keeping under the table. It's been done 2 years, and you're just now seeing a trailer a few months before its alleged release.
I must admit, I'd never heard the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I didn't really like the movie. But the biggest problem I had is Star-Lord. Every time I hear Star-Lord, I go back to the pre-2000 AD days when there was a Star-Lord comic. 2000 AD bought it over, and they started phasing out the name. So you used to have 2000 AD and Star-Lord, 2000 AD Star-Lord, 2000 AD Star-Lord, and it just got smaller and smaller until it was 2000 AD. That's where things like Johnny Alpha came in. He was in Star-Lord rather than 2000 AD. So every time I hear Star-Lord, I just automatically go back to the comics. But I've never been a great Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd never heard of them, and the movie I thought was okay. Didn't think it was great. And Groot annoyed me.
There was a Star-Lord before 2008. Marvel did have one before they were using it, but he wasn't really a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy until the 2000s. And again, he's more of a no-nonsense kind of a space cop guy with a backstory sort of similar to what they did use in the comic. Well, as a buddy of mine who prefers that one says about the movie, he doesn't like the movies. He says in the movies he's just a horny man-child, and that is kind of true. He's kind of an immature kid in that. Nevertheless, Chris Pratt's very popular, and a lot of people do really like those movies. I like them okay. I think they're fun. I mean, and you don't like Groot, though, then you're probably not going to like the movie as much because he's big in it. But they're fun, I think.
See, I think Groot is the same as a lot of the other popular characters, which I do like for some reason, but I don't like Groot. You've got R2-D2, you've got Chewbacca, beep, beep, but you don't know what they're saying. But Groot, I am Groot. I just don't know. It's just the fact is that was it.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like Timmy from South Park.
I am Groot. How many times? Just say it once. We'll just dub it.
Yeah.
It's like Timmy from South Park. All he says is Timmy, and so, it just reminds me of that.
Yeah. Well, he was like that before James Gunn got a hold of him, but James Gunn does add a lot of his own humor and stuff, and he goes way over the top in both of his Guardians films. He had as much as I loved Infinity War, he added some of the more over top stuff that didn't really work well, and then all that stuff infiltrated in game, which added a lot of stuff that shouldn't have been in there, like Fat Thor and stuff like that. That was Hemsworth, that was Gunn. So he does add a little bit too much guffaw stuff, over the top stuff. But but people do like those. People generally like those films, and you're not going to have that with Eternals. You're going to have, again, Kirby's the greatest. He's the king of comics, and I love him. This was not one of his greater creations. This was Marvel doing it in answer to DC trying to launch Kirby's Fourth World, which they announced about a week before Eternals was announced, and now they finally, thankfully, scrapped it. So this is not one of Kirby's finer works for sure. Didn't even have much of a shelf life. There was 18 issues in an annual back in the 70s. There was a short run in the 80s, and then even in 2000, there was an even shorter run that Neil Gaiman did. Aside from that, nobody knows who it is. Nobody.
I'm trying to find. So the rabbi this morning was telling me, I'm looking for a news article that supposedly Disney might buy DC.
Heard of that.
Which would be interesting because then they would own both Marvel and DC, and I wonder if any crossover would occur.
Probably.
Oh, probably.
Oh, you can guarantee
that might be
so they'll basically end up in the same place. So anyway,
Justice League meets the Avengers.
What happened in comics? So I guess they could eventually. It could have. Of course, which iterations would it be? You never know.
You can guarantee it'll not be classic.
No, it won't be. It'll be the MCU version, and a Jar Jar Abrams version.
Let's see. I was just going to bring up another article too. This one came out 6 hours ago. Let me bring it up. It's about the new Bond movie. Sounds like it might be coming out soon.
No time to release.
No.
No time to me too.
Yeah, no time to me. No time to watch.
They're going to be okay. So this is announcing that they're going to do another story next year for the 60th anniversary of Dr. No. I don't know if you saw Tom.
Please no.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but Tom Connors is working his way through the Bond movies for the first time.
I heard that.
And I guess he didn't like On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which for me is one of my favorites.
It's kind of a likable film. It's kind of tough to get used to Lazenby in that one, but it's likable though. It's got a. I like it.
I mean, you got Diana Rigg.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Some people, it's tough to get used. Some people, it's tough to digest George Lazenby.
Yes, it was for me, but still, it's an enjoyable film. So Tom did not like it. Then is what you're saying?
Yeah, he didn't like it.
I think if you can take
but
David Niven,
it's just like Paul McGann. I mean, it's just like Paul McGann. You wonder what if.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he walked away.
You can actually take David Niven and Woody Allen as James and Jimmy Bond, and you can actually take anybody else.
I have never seen that the whole way through.
Well, George walked away. So
that's the only Casino Royale I enjoyed.
Well, have you seen that George Lazenby documentary on Hulu?
No.
Oh, good look! You got to watch. He talks. He does interview for it, but they have a lot. They have a guy playing him in the wraparound scenes and stuff. Talks about his life, how he got the role, and how he walked away from the role. I forget the name of it right now. I'm sorry. It is extraordinarily hilarious. Very funny. It's very entertaining, and it's Lazenby kind of talking about just telling the story of how he got the job, and his early life, and why he walked away. And what's the name of that thing? It's on Hulu. It was made for Hulu. And I cannot remember the name of it. But if you can find that is very entertaining if you're a Bond fan or if you just... It's now, it's a little raunchy. But it's
Becoming Bond. There's one called Becoming Bond.
That could be the one. George Lazenby, he's interviewed for it. And of course, it has a guy playing him. And he talks about it, but it also has fictitious account, like what I'm talking about, like a biopic type thing.
Yeah.
Becoming Bond, that could be the one. I watched about a couple years back.
That's it.
On Hulu, it's really, really funny. Again, it's a little racy, but it's fun.
If he didn't like Secret Service, I can't wait to see his review of Moonraker.
I like Moonraker though.
I like Moonraker too, but I mean it's not the best.
I liked Roger Moore. That's the Bond I grew up with in the 80s. But he didn't want to he's the one Bond who never wanted to who never wanted the role.
he's more the Saint to me. He's more Simon Temple to me.
Yeah.
That's the one I gotta
Every
watch.
time I watch
I've
Bond,
only
it was
seen a little of the Saint.
I must admit.
He's so great as the Saint. I mean, and of course he was on Maverick for a while before that. But I love him. You know what though? When I was a kid, first Bond I saw was The Day That Live and Let Die opened, but it was on a double bill with the previous film Diamonds Are Forever. So that's like a 9-year-old kid. I'm at the theater on a double bill. When it got to the second film, I didn't understand why there was a different guy.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, I thought he was the same dude. I just assumed it was a totally different dude. I loved the Diamonds Are Forever when I'm watching it. Then I really loved Live and Let Die. But I walked out going, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, they're calling it the same thing. Because as a kid, I didn't know about that kind of stuff. I just walked out loving it. And that's, then of course, from then on, went to see every Bond movie in the theater until and after Spectre, it'll be the last time I ever go to, which was horrible in my opinion. That's the last time I'll go to a movie.
Never saw it.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
In fact,
Never saw it. Don't want to.
Casino Royale is at least entertaining, though it's not really a Bond film, and the Daniel Craig stuff is as boring as watching paint dry to me.
Well, what about Skyfall?
It was mildly okay. I didn't like it much.
The new ones, I think they're not Bond movies; they're just action movies that they've just so happened to be called James Bond in.
And it's all about his personal life. This is 4 straight movies that are about his origin and his personal life. I never got so much of James Bond's boring personal life in the 30-some odd years before, the 40-some years before that, or whatever.
And
60,
I never
whatever it was. I never wanted it. It's not James Bond to me. He's James Blonde.
Like in GoldenEye, when Alec Trevelyan says, "Oh, your parents had the luxury of dying in a climbing accident." That's as much backstory on Bond as I ever needed.
If I want to watch backstory, I want to watch Goldmember.
Yeah,
there you go. But that's like other than him.
As I want to get to Bond's backstory.
Exactly.
A parody of it.
Exactly. That's not why we're there.
I got to share this clip. I'll probably have to take it out afterwards.
Yeah.
This is from Saturday Night Live back in 2000, I think. They did a Bond parody.
Part D.
We now return to Today is Never Yesterday.
Oops. Froze. Darn it. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on.
See you. James, I have some top secret information for you. For my eyes only. I don't know how you've done it, James, but you have 107 different venereal diseases. 53 of them have been identified. We've sent samples of 36 others to our disease control center in Atlanta. They won't return our calls. The other 18 we've never seen before. They've actually found some way to mutate spontaneously with other bits and pieces of venereal diseases inside you. So rare that we don't even have names for them. So we're naming them like Bond 1, Bond 2. And there are 3 others. Oh, I thought there were only 107. Yeah, that's where we're thinking it's a lab report because these 3 are only found in sharks. This watch can shoot laser beams. That's great, James, but can it cure herpes? I mean, haven't you noticed the lesions? My God, the extreme discolorization, the erosion, for God's sake, the massive testicular swelling. Surely you're aware of the stench that even fills this room. 007, this is serious. Now, I need to ask you some questions about your sexual history. All right? Let's see, how many women have you had sex with in the last 5 years? 4? You're lying. Yes.
Anyway.
I thought
the thing was, partway through the skit, then there's like 2 of the STDs that made a break out of the lab.
You know,
looks like we lost Derek.
We had a volume problem. But, our old buddy Snorter Poovis Q-Bar does point out something that I forgot about Lazenby. It's true. The 15-year later's affair, as they called it, the Man from U.N.C.L.E. reunion show in the early 80s. That's true. He was in it for a second as a guy named JB. And he helps out Napoleon Solo in a car chase. I always thought that was kind of funny. He also played Jor-El on the old Superboy show.
Huh.
Let's see.
But see, when it comes to Bond, unfortunately, it's Sean Connery. I'm a Sean Connery fan.
I'm with you, but I gotta say,
Yeah.
I gotta say that thinking outside the box, I really loved Timothy Dalton and wish he'd have got to play him more.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton, but the problem is Timothy Dalton, he only had, it was the 90s, and he only got like these
80s.
it was the late 80s, and he only got these two anti-drug related things. It was like, okay.
I love Living Daylights. Living Daylights was made for Pierce Brosnan, and he had to drop out because of his commitment to Remington Steele.
Yeah.
But I still love. It's one of my favorite Bond movies. Then after License to Kill, he was supposed to do GoldenEye. That was written for Dalton, and it took too long, and then they got Brosnan. So, but I love Living Daylights, though. But you're right.
Yeah.
Well, the drug dealer in the second one.
I mean, drug dealers do not make as good antagonists as the commies.
Yes. Well, in this case, it was an arms dealer and some stuff, but they had drugs. That's why you're right. Yeah, in the first one.
But Wayne Newton was fun in that one. Wasn't Wayne Newton in
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Wayne Newton.
License to Kill.
The Wayne Newton is the televangelist.
That was funny. I like both of those, but I love Dalton. I think
Yeah.
Did you know that after when Connery was leaving, before Lazenby, he was one of the ones up for the role. I think before they cast Moore, I think it was, but he was too young. He thought he was too young to play him, which he kind of was.
There one episode of DS9, which is a good analog, is Our Man Bashir.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good one because it's not only is like a good Bond analog, it's a great Bashir Garrick episode.
It really is. That's a great one. Oh my God, Elia
I wrote him.
I love Elia. I love Man from U.N.C.L.E. Great show.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, I wrote him. I bought the picture, sent it with self-addressed postage, wrote him a letter, and it came back within 2 weeks.
Nice.
Wow.
Very good.
So I should show you the other one I got. Let me see. Where did
that was a great show, Man from U.N.C.L.E. I love it. Shatner and Nimoy were on an episode of the first season.
Okay, so I'm really happy with this one. I'm gonna have to get this framed.
It's a little fuzzy. I can't tell who it is. You might want to
Eva Marie Saint.
back it up.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I can't really see. Love her. That's nice.
From North by Northwest and Martha Kent. Superman Returns, I think it was. Wasn't it? Or no, was it Man of Steel or no? Superman Returns. She was in. It's Martha Kent.
Oh, what's she in now?
Yeah. That's an okay movie. Probably hasn't aged well because Kevin Spacey's in it.
Huh.
I kind of didn't like it a whole lot. I mean, I don't hate it as much as I hate Man of Steel or anything, but I didn't like it too much.
I don't know. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I mean, I don't know if they needed to have what's his name in it. Oh,
I hate it's my most hated movie of all time, and even over The Last Jedi, I'm right there with it.
Even worse than Justice League, Whedon version.
No, actually, I hate the Snyder version more, but yeah, I hate them both.
Oh,
yes. Yep.
Wow.
I know it sounds silly, but see, the most disappointed movie I've seen in the last couple of years was Ready Player One.
Oh,
I haven't seen that.
The book was better.
The book was fantastic. I read the book 6 times the first year I got it because that was me growing up, unfortunately, because everything they mentioned, I knew, apart from the music, because I've never been into music, but I knew a lot of the music they were talking about because they were classics. But the animated stuff, the manga stuff, the Japanese stuff, I recognised 90% of it. And I remember watching a lot of the programs, reading a lot of the comics, and it was just I could appreciate it. But see, as soon as they started talking about the movie, I was talking to my friend. He says, "No, they're going to do this. It's going to be fantastic." I says, "No, guarantee there's no Dungeons and Dragons. You can guarantee there's not going to be a quest. You can guarantee it'll be something straightforward." And then the race started was the first one. I'm thinking, there you go. And that was just in the trailer. They were showing you all the bits that they changed. And I thought, yeah. I watched it, and it was rubbish.
Well, the downside to the audiobook that I bought is it's read by Will Wheaton.
Oh,
See, initially when I listened to it, I thought it sounds quite good because he's geeky enough to actually seem as if he's enjoying reading it until he actually starts opening his mouth. Then you realise he's no a geek and he's just actually. So
Yeah.
Because initially he came across as a geek, so he seemed to actually be enjoying reading it because it's something he's into. Then you realise, nope. So it's not as much fun. I must admit, in the last year, I've only listened to it once. So I was going from 8 times the first year, and I was listening to it 5 times each year until last year. And I was stuck in the house, and I listened to it once.
I will say the one thing I did enjoy about Will Wheaton is there was part of his one-man show called William Effing Shatner. Have you ever watched that?
No.
Oh, it's a story about how when he was playing Wesley, and there was on the Paramount set, and right next door they were shooting The Final Frontier, and how he really wanted to meet Bill Shatner, and how he meets Bill Shatner, and Bill Shatner like talks down to him, and it's just a funny story. You know, and I don't even know if it actually happened, but it was like, it's actually a good story because there's like a little musical accompaniment, but it's like a funny story because it's not just about him.
I've heard that story. He said it a couple of times. It wasn't obviously I've not seen his show, but he's said that story a couple of times. I must admit, after I've heard some of the things he's saying, I'm sitting there thinking he's lucky William Shatner even talked to him.
I think the only reason I was able to get through the audiobook was it was before Star Trek Discovery came out and he was doing the Ready Rooms thing. I don't know. It's just when Discovery came out, he just was too much in the media.
He's shilling. He's a shill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I guess he needs the scratch, I guess.
I've never watched so it's like, I'm guessing that's Ready Room is a show that Star Trek related show he's doing.
Yes, he
like
did
a post.
Yes,
well, the best part was the best part is Gary's getting more views than his Wheaton's views.
He wasn't he also after SCD and then after P Hard he would interview the people. And
be honest, I never really sat through one episode.
Yeah, you're not missing
anything. I can honestly say neither have
I.
This is the first I've heard of it.
I've heard of it, but it's Will Wheaton, so it's watching him kiss up to a bunch of people who are a bunch of sellouts destroying Star Trek. Yeah, I can't do it. But I know that Gary's talked about it, and that's enough for me. I don't have to watch that. It's bad enough. I'm so dumb. I watched all of Picard. So
oh shit,
it was torture. That was not
That's
easy.
a good point. I think he when listening to Ready Player One and a couple of other audiobooks he's done, he's a good storyteller, but he is a horrible sellout. Not a nice person. Considering he actually was on Twitter telling people how to block everybody they don't like to listen to.
Exactly. Not a nice guy.
See, the thing I like about Shatner is he doesn't get political. I mean, what really got me upset was like all of Star Trek was doing vote for Biden. The Princess Bride was doing a vote for Biden stream. I mean, it's just keep the politics out because regardless what side you're on, it's going to tick people off.
Mm-hmm. You look at remember the Big Bang Theory, the one it plays Howard.
The what about Big Bang?
The guy that plays Howard in the Big Bang
Theory.
Howard. Right.
Yeah.
He's my favourite character in the Big Bang Theory. But I know his politics are completely different but he doesn't actually put it out there.
Well, it's like Mark Ruffalo.
His politics are completely opposite from mine, but doesn't make any difference because he doesn't open his mouth and actually tell you you're wrong for believing what you believe in your politics or whatever. So you can have the opposite political or any disagreements. It's when they actually come out and tell you how bad you are for doing it and how promoting stuff. That's the part
Well,
I don't like.
That was the problem with Mark Ruffalo because, I mean, he was at the anti-Trump rally, and regardless what you view of Trump, but I mean, he's up there blasting anybody that supported Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going all anti-Israel and
Yeah.
Look, I don't care that these people that we have different views from these people. I've never have a problem with that sort of thing when they're out there trashing their audience. So in other words, they were simply saying this is my opinion, but you're entitled to yours. That's not what they're doing anymore. At least not all of them. Some of them are actual real classical liberals, which means they're supposed to be about putting up with the views of others, but they're not. They're not. And people like Mark Ruffalo is not. People like Will Wheaton is not. You're an istophobe and all that stuff if you don't agree with them. That's when I have a problem. Not when they have their own views, although I think it's smarter of them. They can do it, but I think it's smarter if they just kept it, it didn't put it out there, not alienated half their audience. But you probably wouldn't be alienating them if you were just simply, well, this is my opinion, but I have no problem with anyone having their own views.
I liked it when my entertainers were just entertainers.
Yeah, they used to just actually entertain and shut up and go home.
Yes, and there are still a few that do that, but not many anymore.
Yeah.
Not many.
Comment here from M. Tax Shark. When someone makes it clear they don't want business from 50% of a nation, 100% of the nation should observe their wishes.
I like it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Let's see.
Still no title
card yet.
What you doing, Gary?
So,
come on, Gary, get that running, man.
He's probably
That'll
setting up his PC because his last one broke down.
Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully Az has better luck tonight. Sounds like the cat still lives.
Yes, the cat dodged the bullet there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Might have dodged
used
the
it
bullet.
live.
It didn't dodge his laptop.
So. No, I'm just hoping it starts soon because, like I said, I got something this evening I want to watch. So I can only watch so much this afternoon. But no, I'm ready for the rest. I really am looking forward to getting away for a few days.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow I've got a nice busy day of Blake 7 Season 1 and the Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Ooh.
Nice. I love Blake 7, one of the greatest ever.
Well, I've started watching it, but what I've done is I've actually only watched the first 2 seasons, and I thought, well, my streaming Sunday, I'm going to talk Blake 7 and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, so I'm just rewatching it all again tomorrow.
Oh, excellent. Well,
yeah.
I love it. Go ahead, Carl.
I've lost count of how many times I've watched through all 4 seasons.
Since 1985 or 6, when I fell in love with it, I've probably almost every year watched them all. I mean, it's maybe more than that. I love it so much.
I remember I watched it when it was on initially, and I've watched it I think once since then. That was about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
still got fond memories of it, but still rewatching it again. But the thing is, I've got so much. I've got too much that I was saying to. I think I was on Wednesday. I was saying to Daniel or Wendy that if I watched everything I've got in my shelf without doing anything, just watching the extras, I would be 2 years constant watching the TV.
It'll take some time.
Yeah.
Avon lives, by the way. Go ahead.
So for those that, I was just going to say, I started watching season 1 because I found it on archive.org, which, because it's not available in this country. So somebody uploaded the whole series.
Oh, good.
Cool.
I wish they would do a DVD or Blu-ray set over here. I'd settle for a DVD set, but I have good rips of them, because I bought them on VHS back in the 90s when they first came out, but they've never done it on normal DVD here at all. But I've had to get them ripped in so.
PJ, I would let you know, I told Dan Hardley that I really got hooked on the British Empire.
Oh, British Empire is fantastic.
Oh, I got hooked on that right away. That was so much fun. Let me see. I play that last week? I think I played that last week. The baptism scene.
It's just Chris Barry's fantastic in it.
What is British Empire? And
it's not British. It's British.
British.
The British Empire.
Oh,
basically Chris Barry, Rimmer from Red Dwarf.
Yes.
He is the manager of a Newbury leisure centre.
Oh,
he's the type of manager that follows the rules to the letter and expects everybody else to follow the rules to the letter. And
I'll bring up the clip.
He's on a crusade to bring health to the nation.
Oh.
And he's one of those ones that's he thinks he's not being condescending by pointing out your faults, but he does. And his crew around him are just amazing. His receptionist,
he's a tight wad.
Always with him. British Empire is fantastic because I actually asked Chris the last Comic-Con I was at if they're ever going to even do a reunion, and he says they're in talks about it, but they don't know.
Rimmer.
Here, I think I played this clip before. Haven't I played this before?
You may have.
Is the sound working?
Yes.
Yep.
Against the wall to get his breath back, came into contact with a magnetic field which turned his pacemaker off.
Mr. Brittas.
You'd have a death on your hands, wouldn't you, Colin? Take it down at once.
Right, Mr. Brittas.
Where does this thing go, anyway?
Chris Berry's a genius.
Yes. Basically, it's just one of those ones. 7 seasons it went on, but it's an absolute amazing season. I did a review on something and it was talking about the guys who wrote the program. It was Chance the Million. I was doing one in Chance the Million. Chance the Million is about a guy who everything happens to him, but they always happen. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's just a chance the million things happen. And the guys who wrote it 2 years later wrote the British Empire. And what they've done is taken the same type of character. It was Simon Callow and Brenda Blethyn were in Chance the Million. And his character Simon Carroll played it like a very Victorian type of thing. He just accepted things that happened, good or bad. They just happened to him. Whereas in British, they take the opposite thing. Things happen to people around them because of what British does. And it is... I think both are really good seasons, and it's the same guy.
Good to see you. I see.
Yeah. But British Empire, you get a chance, watch it. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It just became available over here on BritBox. And I had never heard of it until I saw it new on BritBox. I went through it in less than a week.
LT says he's going to Wrench for Friday Night Tights. Does that mean they're starting?
I haven't seen the title card yet.
I've not seen the title card either.
I'm checking again. I have to refresh everything.
No, it's not popped up yet.
No.
No.
Oh well. Cool.
See the guys that wrote British Empire. That's the one they did.
Oh, let me bring that up. Okay.
Chance the Million. That I'm trying to think. Who did it? Andrew Norris and Richard Fergan. I'm sure they did the British Empire. And
okay, so it's it looks like it was in 84.
Really fun, very classic. There you go. Chelmsford 1, 2.
Never heard of it.
That it's basically set in Rome or Roman Britain. There's a Doctor Who flash in it. So there is. Basically, it starts off in Rome. They're all speaking Latin, which, considering when it was written, they actually decided we'll go down the Latin route and with subtitles, and then they get posted to Britain. So on their way to Britain, everything dies. They end up with pulling their cart themselves in the pelting rain. So they stop and hunker down, and in the background you see the TARDIS appearing. Somebody coming out and going, get back in the TARDIS and bugging off. So basically they take the mickey of, basically the fact is it's a British programme, just taking the mickey of another really good British programme.
It's
the title I just found it on YouTube.
Chelmsford 1, 2, 3 if you get a chance. It's very funny, and it's just Roman Britain, about how the Romans hated the Britons, and the Britons hated the Romans, and the Britons hated the Britons, and the Romans hated the Romans. It was just a nice, good comedy. They're two of my favourite classics. Basically, I watch them every maybe 6 months they're on. I like them that much. I slot them in.
I just watched the New Minister for the first time. I think the Rick McKell, isn't it the New Statesman?
The New Statesman, Rick Bastard.
Yeah,
is that Rick Mail playing Alan Bastard?
Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, Rick Mail's just classic in everything he's in. Very not a nice character, unlike his Lord Flashheart and such. Like, he plays a Weasley politician. And Rick Mail's just amazing. Is Alan
Troughton.
Bastard.
I did not.
Michael Troughton plays Piers Fletcher Dervis. And Michael's the one that wrote Patrick's autobiography. I've ended up with 2 copies of that. Because I got one and he asked him to write, he'd autograph it, so he autographed it. But for some reason, 2 of them come through. So I contacted him and says, "You've sent me 2, do you want me to send it back?" He says, "No, just get to one of your pals." I thought, very nice. But no, that's Michael Troughton that plays Piers Fletcher Dervish. Alan Bastard's put upon assistant.
Let me see. I'm just looking for a video. I have a clip of it.
Gentlemen, we have a title card.
Oh.
How much time?
2:45 it says.
14 minutes and 38 seconds and counting, Captain.
It's about 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
We're talking about Gary's minutes. That's like Microsoft minutes, only worse.
Let's see. I'm just looking. Oh, no, that's not it. Problem is, I got like a few hundred things on my desktop.
Huh.
I'm still not getting the title card. Where is it?
Yeah, I don't know. This is like the second week in a row that it's been hard to get the title card up.
I had to search Nerdrotic to find it.
I can't find.
Yeah, I had to do it a couple times.
Let me see.
I've been going down a bit of a rabbit hole.
There it is. Yeah, basically, see if I do a search on Nerdrotic, or even go to my subscribers list, it's nothing but see on the main screen, pops up.
What were you saying, Ironcaster?
Oh, I was kind of going back. I was going back and revisiting some movies this past week or so that are now like 20-year-old movies, which is kind of shocking to believe. Stuff from like 2001, like the Jake Gyllenhaal movie Bubble Boy.
Oh no!
Yes.
Mind you, Bubble Boy is going to be quite relevant nowadays. Everybody has to wear one of those bubbles if they want to go outside.
I'm pretty sure I saw some people like actually wearing those in the store.
I've seen people making their own and wearing them in stores.
So for anyone who's not aware in the chat, it's a movie about where Jake Gyllenhaal, who wound up playing Mysterio in the Spider-Man movies, he was as a child born without any immunities, so he had no immune system, so he was like living in a bubble. And when he became a teen, he wound up living a really sheltered life, living with his mother and father. And this like girl next door winds up moving in and becomes good friends with him. And then she winds up starting to date a guy, and they're gonna go get married in Niagara Falls. So he builds himself this bubble suit to go and race across country to go stop the wedding.
Oops.
And along the way, he meets all kinds of crazy people, like Danny Trejo.
Okay, there we go. Let's see. The thing I found is if I type in the title name, it comes up.
Really?
If I just type in Nerdrotic, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I found that. I went on to Nerdrotic's channel, did a refresh, nothing. I actually went to the YouTube home screen, and it popped up there.
I'm on his channel. I do not see it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was in his channel, couldn't see it, but I went to the home screen.
Yeah, if you go to the channel itself, there's now a thing you can look up for upcoming live streams, past live streams.
I found it fine. I had to refresh.
Okay, there it is.
It's a new feature.
I saw it. That's right.
Okay, let me see. So, well, I guess we probably still have about 20 minutes. I was going to say I probably need to get a few things done before everything starts. But so let's see. Okay, thanks, Chris P. I did find it. Oh, PD Rich. Yes, Noah was streaming. So, yeah. And there's already 760 people there watching. I gotta say, the one thing I posted on Twitter, I'm surprised it kind of went a little crazy. Let me bring it up. With John Cena.
Oh gosh.
Oh, great! Hear about that quite a bit.
I gotta say, I was kind of blown away. It's been shared 40 or 4,000 times already. I know I'm never going to get to go into China. They're never going to let me into the country.
You're banned.
I mean,
for
the fact
life.
that I'm a priest is one strike. And this is probably the second strike.
Oh no, that's the second, third, fourth, and fifth strike.
My daughter used to actually teach in China. She loved it over there. So she did. She taught in Moscow and she taught in China. She loved both of the places. But that's the people, isn't it?
I just kind of wish 89 would have worked out for them.
Yeah,
how much more different would the world be if 89 was successful?
PD Rich. What's up?
Oh. So, let's see. So, probably 5:15.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fine. 5:15. That's 11 o'clock. 11:15 over here.
Yeah.
I'm already getting to my bedtime.
I can't stay up anymore.
No, I usually sit and watch it until about 1, 2 in the morning. Then I go to bed and finish the rest of it in the morning.
So this is the thing I'm looking forward to getting away next week, because when you're on retreat, you get to sleep in.
Ooh.
Because right now I'm usually up at 5. Because I have to get coffee in me for the morning. But on retreat, you're usually sleeping until 7:30. So, needless to say, I can't wait to get away.
Yeah, my father-in-law is very similar. He's retired now, but he's a retired minister for the Church of the Nazarene, and he says once now he's retired, they can have a long line till about 7.
So, yeah, that's the other thing too. There's the underground church in China, but that's a topic for a different stream since this isn't a religious one.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think what else is going on. I think Geiger number 3 comes out next week.
I haven't been reading any current comics, so don't know anything
I've
about
not
that
been
one.
reading.
I've heard of that one, but I don't know about it.
It's actually really good.
I did get to the
Let's
comic
see.
shop this week. I got The Last Ronin.
Oh, let me.
So
bring
there's the
that
last
up.
one. You mean the last one on the shelf, or the?
That's
Yeah,
what I was
no, it
going to
was
ask.
the
That's
last one.
exactly what I was going to ask.
The last copy of The Last Ronin.
Last, not the second to last, Ronin.
And
Yeah, I'm
it's
gonna
on pull
add
list
that.
for me now, so I'm getting this thing no matter what.
There you go.
Is there
Wow,
other one
You're
or?
good.
This really does not
Okay,
fit in the
let me-
bag very well.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's- Let's see. Is that it's a little bit oversized, or is it a smaller board there?
It's what I had. It was what I had available, which compared to a regular size comic,
Ooh,
Yeah, a little bit bigger. There you go.
Yeah.
I wanted to be different. Make a different format there. A little bit bigger on the shelf. Good idea.
well, they sold.
Yes, it is doing well for modern comics.
let's see. I'm just trying to bring up what's coming up next week.
I should probably look for myself.
Previews there.
Does anybody use Preview World?
No.
No, I haven't used
The
that.
thing that's nice about it is my comic book store uses it. So when the catalogs come out, I can just subscribe to whatever I want.
Well, didn't Diamond
Okay.
lose DC?
Yeah, they're not doing DC on this one anymore. Okay, so I have no comics next week. Then Berserker.
I was getting
Ooh.
Star Trek Year 5, but I stopped. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute there. Star Trek Dead of Honor facsimile. Look, that's outrageous. Look at the price on that thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did. Okay, yeah. I was just bringing up the Stray Dogs cover. Let me bring that up. Because I really am.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Gotta say, I've really been enjoying this story. So.
That Star Trek Dead of Honor thing that they had in there for $9.99. I've been seeing it at the store called Ollie's. Everyone I go to in their comic section, they've got tons and tons of that, and it's just like $3. And it's probably one of the best Star Trek comics ever made, by the way.
Let's see.
Looks
Oh,
like I
is
just
it worth-
have Gold Digger.
Don't know if you guys have an Ollie's near you, but
No.
I only just discovered I had one near me.
oh, check it out. There it is. That IDW is reprinting it. They've got tons and tons of it sitting at every Ollie's I've been to. We have 3 of them around here for $3. And it's again, this is probably, if not, this is late 80s, something like that. One of the best Star Trek stories, done in the comic form ever. With great Adam Hughes art. It's Kirk's, but it is Kirk's backstory. Obviously, it's not considered canon because in that sense, but it's still, if you want to just have one to put in your head, this head canon for Kirk's beginnings with Starfleet, stuff like that, it's really good.
Okay, so it's not available on this thing. Anybody ever use mycomicshop.com?
Oh yeah, I got a weird email from them the other day, and they're pretty good. They're Lone Star Comics, which is a big one in Texas. I got an email from them because sometimes, like if you're looking for a comic on there that they don't have, and like they'll still have it listed, right? And you put, well, if there's this thing you go and click that, then if it ever comes in, let me know if it ever comes in. Well, 2013 there was a comic I wanted. I just happened to be, I didn't have it in stock. So I clicked it. 2013, mind you. And last week, or week before last, I get an email from them. We finally got this Thunder Agents number so-and-so from IDW. And I've forgotten I'd even asked about the thing. So it only took them about 8 years to get that one back in. But they're good. They're good service, though.
My friend that runs a comic book store back home has 2 Lois Lanes on hold for me. So I'm looking forward to getting those. I think they're from the early 60s.
Nice. Love it.
I've not been to the comic book store in years, but These are the books I'm reading at the moment.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The old Real Deal 2018 Tharg's
Yep.
notes. Love Tharg.
1986, basically when they actually had the date they came out on, and the whole 26 pence.
It was weekly. And I used to,
Yes.
had tons of those. They're very. It's that newsprint too. I mean, even the cover.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's newsprint.
I love Rogue Trooper.
Rogue Trooper's one of the it's. I've even got the Block Wars one, but
oh yeah, the Blockmania. Cool. No, those were great Dread stories.
Yeah, I've got the Block War, and I've actually got the Block War game as well.
Oh wow! I used to have the Judge Dredd game. It was
I've got
huge
that
over
as
here.
well. Basically, the Block War one, and I've also got the one. It's the board game as well.
There was a board game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got that sitting down there as well. I've played it a couple of times, but I've not been able to play it due to lockdown because my wife didn't like playing it. I've also got the card game, the Judge Dredd card game.
Oh, really? Wow. Nice.
It's basically you just get the cards out, deal them out, and as you turn them over, it's all to do with what can do. It's very similar to a Top Trump type of game. Each characters can do certain things, but I like my broadsheet comics.
Well, that's the thing I miss about the. Oh, go ahead.
Right, no, go ahead. It's just I was just digging one out, but it's just the fact is paper, where it's actual paper, none of these shiny stuff.
That's the thing I really miss about the older comics, because I mean, like this, I mean, it's not smooth, glossy paper. I like the old paper.
Yeah,
old newsprint.
Where you even their adverts in it.
Ooh.
Nice. Hold on.
Oh, I love it. I love Nemesis too. That was a great.
Yes.
Was it Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill? That was a great series.
Yeah,
I have a lot of the Titan
Pat Mills.
reprints of those.
Steve Potter was the letterer, and Brian Talbot.
Brian Talbot was a great artist, by the way.
Art Robot. That
Art
was a good
Robot.
thing.
Yeah, I like
They
that.
used
Script
to-
Robot,
they
Art
used to
Robot.
name them. So you had your script robot, art robot, and lettering robot.
I love that. I love them. Tharg was always there, wasn't he?
Yes, Tharg was always there. I must admit, my favourite, apart from Judge Dredd, Rogue Trooper, and ABC Warriors.
ABC Warriors, Robo Hunter, Slain.
I was these great with Slain, the barbarian type, but Robo Hunter I quite enjoyed as well. The only time I didn't like them was when they went sort of psychedelic.
Yeah, DR and Quinch was great. By Alan Moore.
DR and Quinch was fun. They used to actually
Moore.
buzz lonely travellers just so they could actually make them look silly by saying it's all UFOs.
Did you read Halo Jones?
Yes.
The Ballad of Halo Jones was brilliant by Alan Moore.
The rabbi did a review of it the other day, didn't he?
Say again?
The rabbi did a review of it the other day.
Oh, did he?
Okay.
They have 3 Titan albums of those that I got because I couldn't get all the originals at the time back in the 80s by Alan Moore because I collect everything by Alan Moore. And that was a great run on that he did on Halo Jones. It's been ripped off a lot of times, actually.
Yeah, that's the thing. You look at a lot of them, right? Fair enough. They said Judge Dredd was a rip-off of Dirty Harry, or is it Dirty Harry was a rip-off of Judge Dredd, but you had Rogue what do you call him? RoboCop was a rip-off of Judge Dredd.
That's right. It was pretty much a rip-off.
That's why they had the helmet, because the initial helmet they had was the same as the Judge helmet. Or basically,
Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me.
That helmet.
I love it. Oh, greatness. Yeah, RoboCop is very Judge Dredd.
Yes, that's what. Did you ever see the initial drawings for the RoboCop outfit? Because you look at my avatar, right? The initial RoboCop helmet had the red bar down across the nose and everything.
Oh, cool.
And what they did was they were told no. Hence the reason why it just went to the bar across. And that's why the initial, although he's a RoboCop, it's basically just above his nose. It was to go along the lines of the Judge Dredd because they wanted to copy that, and then they realised they couldn't, so it changed it and bulked up the armour on him and everything because of that.
Nice.
So it would have been quite fun, but At least we got Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Was the movie worth it?
The
The
Stallone one?
Sylvester Stallone movie visually was worth it. But
Yeah,
that's all
it
visually.
looked great. The Lawmaster was great. His uniform was great. He takes his helmet off, which he's not supposed to do. And some of the stuff from the story, Rico is supposed to be his twin. I don't know, Amon Desante. There's so much
he's
right with it, so
Stallone.
much wrong with it. But Stallone's so badly cast.
Yes.
I don't
there was
dislike Stallone, but
a couple of things were perfect in it. The ABC Warrior.
He
was
looked great.
super. Mean Machine Angel was amazing.
The Angel game looked perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
The Hershey stance was fantastic.
Yes, visually. It was
There's basically
really good.
one that's the Hershey stance in the comic. You always see Hershey standing side on with a lawgiver, and I can't even remember the name of the actress that played Hershey.
Diane Lane.
She's got that spot on.
Diane Lane,
But
yeah. But didn't Hershey get killed in the comic though?
Later on, it's
Later
you're
on.
talking about it ages along the lines of, so when Judge Dredd first started, they had him at what 30, 20 odds,
Yeah.
and they aged him. So it's been going on for 50 years. So he's basically in his 60s or 70s. He's been on 40 years, and he's in his 60s in the comic because they age him each year with the comic.
Yeah. Well, Dredd doesn't need a love life, first of all. That doesn't work. That's not Judge Dredd is about satire as well.
Exactly.
And he's a caricature in the sense it's dark humor. That's why everyone who loves that Carl Urban movie, I'm like, he's good. The casting's fine, but there's no satire, no humor. It's just a silly, violent shoot 'em up. It's not Dredd to me. Everyone loves it so much. But people like it. The casting's good, but that's all.
I think if they had share this Dead movies and put them together, it would have been perfect. Carol Urban with a bit of the Sylvester Stallone humor, but a wee bit, not a lot, and the Sylvester Stallone's backdrop of the city would have been super.
Diane Lane.
Yeah, Diane
my.
Lane.
My.
This
Love her.
was from 1982 when
I
she was in
remember
the
it.
Kenny Rogers movie.
I remember that.
Great movie. Also has Anthony Michael Hall, I think, is in it.
Aaron Gray.
Aaron Gray too.
Oh
I love those painted posters. It's such a
Yeah.
shame they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
He had to know when to fold them, by the way. And know when to hold them. I don't know if you all knew that.
You need
And
to
he had-
have, you know how to walk
walking
away, you know when to run.
And when to run. And you don't count your money. Never mind. We all got the point.
I was listening to that the other day. Right, and let's see.
So-
Well, we are now in wait mode, folks.
We will end abruptly when the show starts, just like
Any
last
hour
week.
now.
Yeah.
Any hour now, folks. The tension builds. Will they start within the next 5
Yeah,
minutes?
but the problem
the
is,
next 2 hours.
I wish Gary would add a little bit of filler before the thing starts, because if you get an ad, you don't get to see the beginning.
You get ads? Oh, yeah, it depends on what
Sometimes.
you're watching it on. Okay, I got you. I don't get them on my computer for some reason. With the phone, yeah.
Are you
Well, I
using
haven't-
Brave?
No, I'm
what?
using Roku.
Okay,
Oh.
gotcha. Yeah. I get them. I get that on my TV, my Blu-ray. So, but when I'm watching on my computer, I don't get any ads.
I get it on my computer too at times.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. He's got 2,314 people waiting.
It's hard to believe it was only a few years ago. It was like 700.
Yes.
And you didn't have to send a super chat to get read.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
again,
for sure.
Now
Excited
you have
for
to get the Disney Fast Pass to be able to get your super chat read.
No, you got it. Well, yeah. I mean, you basically got to pay $100 to get it read.
Now all of a sudden you got to be George Moyo to get anywhere.
Who's that?
I think he donates $500-$600 each
Oh,
episode,
okay.
each show.
Dang. How? Okay, that's $2,000 a month almost.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm
Somebody just
curious
dropped-
about what's going on there, but whatever he chooses to do, it's good with him.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm happy for Gary. Like I said, he's given the voice to all of us.
You know,
Oh yeah, it's a good dude.
it's as good a cause as any.
So, Ironcaster, are you in for Vegas?
I still gotta get my stuff booked. It was just a matter of taking care of a few things here. I need to do it. I really do. I've been saying I'm
See if I
gonna
can
do it.
find- I'm trying to find the thing. I sent Nick Weiser a place I want to visit, and when you see the image from it, you'll understand why.
But I've
Because-
basically put the a share in that's the screen. That's basically the wee clip from the Judge Dredd movie. Hershey's stance.
Oh.
No,
So this is a.
I remember
This is an
that's not
antique
my
mall.
screen. I think that's not
Wow.
my screen, because if a market man cave looked like that, I'd still be jealous of myself.
Nice.
This is an antique mall in South Vegas, I believe. I think.
Oh, okay.
And as I was telling Clobbering, I go to the antique malls because I sometimes find comics there.
I love those
And
places.
I picked up Sergeant Fury #4 for $5.
Nice.
I do the
So-
same in charity shops as well. I must admit, I still look through the old comics.
Oh, sorry, I just saw this. Sorry, PJ.
Don't know
There
why
she
it's
is.
actually flickering, but that's basically the Hershey stance, and it was perfect in the movie. That was one of the three things I thought were amazing in the Sylvester
Yeah, but
Stallone
she should
movie.
have been wearing a helmet, though. I mean, he took his helmet off too much. She took her helmet off. Like,
Oh, yeah, he did. Basically, as soon as he walked in, he took his helmet off.
Judges don't take their helmets off.
There's the
They
Angel
should-
Gang.
Yeah, the Angel Gang looked perfect. From they really, especially Mean Angel, like you said.
Mean was
Mean
just
looks
amazing.
just like him.
And the
It's been too
ABC
long.
Warrior was just amazing as well.
Rod Schneider was annoying.
Huh? Yeah.
Rob Schneider was Rob Schneider.
That
I
uniform
dislike
is pretty
his
good.
character
Though.
immensely because
Wait, he's in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
judge, the
And
judge
he's playing
uniforms
Demolition
he
Man.
played Fergie, and Fergie in
Yeah.
the comics
was nothing like
is
that. He was
a
a big.
mountain of a moron. Basically, someone is just one of these big dumb guys
Yeah,
who
from
had to go to
Judge
help the
Caligula.
judges.
Yeah, he
With
was from Judge
Caligula, yeah. And he took the SJS down with Caligula because he was that big.
The uniforms are really good in this. They were pretty good, and the Lawmaster was pretty good, if I remember right. But it's just when I saw this in the theater, I was pretty upset. I mean, ABC. By the way, I love the ABC Warrior. I'm not sure what the ABC Warriors are doing in a Dread movie, but okay.
Yeah, they are in the same universe. I'm just
I
trying
guess.
to find it a better. There's the
Are they
ABC
in-
Warrior.
are they
That
in
was
Mega
just
City
amazing.
Yeah, I named my comic shop Mega City Comics. That's how much I love Just Dread. When I owned my comic shop in the 80s, so I
Yeah.
love Dread. Jorgen let's say Jorgen Prochnow, whatever that guy is.
Jorgen
Jorgen-
Porchow.
Okay.
Porchow.
The bad guy in Beverly Hillbillies Cop 2.
Yep.
Electric Boogaloo.
He always played a great bad guy. So he did. He just basically had just that type of persona
Yep.
around him that he could play such a nasty piece of work. You actually didn't feel as if he was nasty, even though you knew he was going to play it, because he just had that type of personality. He could come on and just.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Armando Sante was kind of strange because Rico was supposed to be his twin.
Yeah.
But they changed that.
Which is his clone twin. I'm actually
Yep.
trying to actually
Yeah,
move that
clone.
on in the wrong screen. What did he?
Yeah, they didn't get it right. But I mean, it's
It's,
usually has some good stuff. Mega City looks pretty good.
Yeah. And
I
he,
like
did, he
Armando
definitely he had a wee bit similar features because the two of them are meant to have been cloned by Chief Judge.
But yeah, the Lawgiver and the Lawmaster looked pretty good.
Yeah, I don't when they made the Stallone one, I don't think they were really cared about being faithful to the comic. I think they were just making
No, they
an
never
action
did.
movie. So
Yeah.
And
Well,
although
as far as I understand it, it was Stallone that was the one who was willing to wear the helmet, but the studio wanted to put Stallone's face out there as much as they possibly could.
I can believe that. He's actually not a selfish actor. I mean, about 10 some odd years earlier than that, there was a Judge Dredd annual. Remember those British annuals? I loved them.
Yeah.
Where they put a bunch of actors' faces and they superimposed the helmet over it to say, just as a joke, like who would be great as Judge Dredd. And Stallone was one of them. I remember looking at it going, Oh, they would. Oh my God, no way! What? And then, of
Initially,
course,
they said they were going
it
to.
happens.
They said they were going to cast an unknown because they couldn't take his helmet off. And see how you're saying the Log Master or the Lawgiver was a better gun.
Mm-hmm.
You're wrong.
Oh,
That's
way. That's the law. That's the lawgiver right there.
That's the Lawgiver.
That's beautiful. Oh my goodness, dude. Where do you live again? I'm going to be stealing that from you. When I go look up and it's gone.
It'll have to come with my helmet, my badge, my belt buckle.
I'm getting my transporter lock right now. My transporter,
and I've got my day stick as well. I've got the lot. The only thing I've still got to get is I made the ego and the shoulder pad
that is
and the
fantastic.
outfit. I did the Comic-Con 1 year. I went as the judge.
Really?
Are you willing to spend some time in the ISO cubes for it?
Where'd you get that? Did you make that or something? Or?
No, that I bought, but I had made one in the previously for the Comic-Con. But the thing is, I'm married. I served life in the ISO cubes all the time.
That's fantastic, man. Love it.
I'm just I've got the comic. It's in my Comic-Con folder because I've got that many. Let's see, where's the that's the outfit there.
That's Colin.
Yeah.
Colin. Old Colin.
Bravo.
Yes.
Should have made him wear the helmet.
I know. Sad get mode. I know. Basically,
nice.
Hey, I've also done the Red Dwarf.
Oh no,
that's me, my daughter. That's me, my daughter doing it.
Oh, she too is a hologram, eh? You smackheads.
We basically that was the year we met Chris.
Oh, really? Right. That's cool. He's fantastic.
Yes. Because he basically made my daughter's day because we had met him. And because mine's doesn't say second lieutenant, it says senior technician and hers said junior. And we'd gone up and he recognised us. So and he passed us, gave her the salute. And then when we were up and at the talks and I got up to talk, he recognised us and gave her a salute again. So she was over the moon. Chris Barry actually saluted to her twice. There's one of the judges' outfit. Basically, the helmet.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Purchasing it.
The law.
Did you say it the way Stallone did?
I am the law. I am the
law. I am the law. You know.
Yeah, you can see the gun a bit better that I made.
All right, that's fantastic, dude. I love it.
So I'd made all that basically, buckle, everything.
Yeah,
but
I love your helmet.
Your helmet by bit. So yeah,
it looks like some of those helmets are from the urban one, and then yours looks like it's from the comic.
Well, mine's that was a purchase. I made that one, but I've purchased one since then.
Okay.
The one on my avatar is the one I purchased, which is classic comic book and that was the one I made out of EVA foam to the same design.
That's great, man.
So unfortunately, that was before I had anything. I only had the badge and the belt buckle. The rest of it I just made. Obviously, it was a few years ago because it doesn't take 10 minutes to grow this. But
nice.
Yeah, that's my favourite. That's my most impressive part I've got.
Oh my goodness! I never knew they made that. Wow.
Yes, perfect size, everything. It's literally resin. Perfect. The thing is, I do not take that to Comic Cons.
Oh no, you're gonna want
anybody drops that, that's it gone.
Yes,
but it's Lawgiver Mark 1 Justice Department.
Oh man,
nice,
love it.
It's just so well put together.
Wow, when did that come out? And I love you have Marx Brothers movies behind you, by the way.
Yeah, that's the full set there and there. That's the 2 boxes.
Nice.
I know I've got Arthur Askey.
A man with great taste. Man with great taste indeed.
Yes. Blackadder.
Love it. Love it.
IT Crowd. Red Dwarf.
No. This man has a library big time right there.
There's even my Star Wars ones. The only 4 Star Wars movies I've got. Only 3 Star Wars movie and the bonus feature. It's the classic 3. I don't watch
Real deal.
or the sequels.
Nice.
Where's the holiday special?
It's in there. It's on YouTube.
Oh no! Let's think holiday special. All right, no. But I don't know. I do like my movies. I do prefer physical media. But as I said, that's my Sunday's watch. That's what I'm watching tomorrow.
Let me bring that up.
Nice. Kevin McCarthy.
Ah.
Yep. The original.
That's the 1956 version. I've also got this.
You saw
it. This is next one. Look.
Oh, there you go. Did you see the Leonard Nimoy Donald Sutherland remake of Body Snatchers where Kevin McCarthy shows up at the end?
1978 one, I've got that as well. I'm going to actually have a quick look at that. I thought, I normally don't like remakes.
I don't either.
Snatchers was a good remake. It was.
That wasn't bad.
And it's most iconic because you talk about Invasion of Body Snatchers. First thing people do is go, it's basically the Donald Sutherland. It's the Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
Anybody who thinks about Invasion of Body Snatchers, they think about the 1978 one, which is a classic in its own right because they changed it enough because the old one was in a small American town.
Right.
This one, it was in the city and it was happening.
It felt more like almost like a sequel instead of a necessary full remake.
It's almost like they take it out of the small town and take it to the city and just expand it because you had different characters. They had a similar name, but it wasn't the same character names.
Yeah,
it was. So it did feel like a sequel, a better sequel than you had with the Independence Day and the Independence Day 2. But they were meant to be sequels, but Invasion Body Snatchers, the reboot, was a better sequel to the original than any sequels have been coming out.
As the ultimate hater of remakes, even I kind of liked it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Little
Shop of Horrors.
I actually think work.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say not 1 billion%, but I'm almost like 98% I don't like them. Or generally not. I'm usually not well disposed towards them, but again, as I say, there's exceptions to everything in life, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think there is one or two, like The Thing. That is a remake.
I love John Carpenter's The Thing. You know, right. But then, that one also is more based on the short story, Who Goes There. And then, there's an example. The Howard Hawks version is fine, but I will admit that's a rare case where I love John Carpenter's version from '82. I must have went to theater 4 or 5 times, 6 times to see it, but loved it.
There's an offer I've not had from many people. I have got the picture of. I've got I didn't have it. The guy in Edinburgh when I went to see him, he told us because I'd seen him in Glasgow, and he says next time you're over, he says we've got the bike and we've got a pulse rifle. So I have got a picture with the pulse rifle, and I bought one of these Nerf guns. A wee bit of tweaking, it'll become a Justice Department shotgun or a pulse rifle. I just need to amend it. My amending and building days are over. Dodgy arm nowadays, so I can't cut. I'm right-handed, so everything gets done with this hand, and it's almost gone. Bummer. I'll just have to teach my wife how to cut EVA foam. Please. That's why I started buying things, because I couldn't make them anymore. But no, that's my pride and joy.
Nice stuff, man. You got a great collection there.
Well, I've basically been saving 50 years to get it.
Wow. The gun?
Near enough. You're talking about that was I got that when it was in sale.
Okay.
How
old is Judge Dredd?
Judge Dredd was, you're talking about
78, 9, something like that.
Something like that. I think it was 78 it came out. Because it was in the second issue of 2000 AD. It wasn't in the issue 1.
No, that's right. I used to have all the
I used to have the first 100 until I got divorced, and then they ended up in the bin.
Well, it was only really on sale over there on your side of the pond, but I came across a guy in the 80s, and I don't know how he got them. I had a ton of them. I was able to buy, including the Battle of the Burger Barons issues through the Cursed Earth story, which, of course, was not reprinted here. Because of what happened with McDonald's and
Burger King. Come on.
It was not reprinted in the Cursed Earth. And I was able to snag those and read them because that was left out of it. Yeah, McDonald's and Burger King did not appreciate that.
And
it was great. It was hilarious. Oh my.
Ooh.
Dude.
Basically, I've got that as well. The only thing is I've lost the rocket. The launching rocket is basically gone.
Oh wow.
So that's from the Cursed Earth.
It's from the Cursed Earth story.
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew they did a toy of that. Wow.
Oh, I seen it at charity shops. Fantastic. And it used to be the Barras were fantastic. Barras was a market. It's basically the Barraland ballroom. It's not being a ballroom, but they had a market down there every weekend. So everybody used to go to the Barras. And basically Scottish for barrels. And basically that's where I used to collect all my, because you've got in there and people's, it's like car boot sales, but it was always there every weekend. It was before car boot sales became a big thing. So you used to go down there and there was always toys and stuff like that, and I used to collect bits and pieces.
I've got a place like that near me. It's a little antique shop, and last time I went in there, they had a booth that was just full of Spawn action figures.
I'm sorry.
We are live.
All right, everyone.
So we will catch up with everybody later. Thank you guys for joining me.
Definitely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Father.
Yep.
Okay.